So here is the new 2019 Ram 2500 heavy duty. This is in mega cab. Take a look. This does have the 12-inch Uconnect display. Let's turn some lighting on in here. Very, very similar, if not exactly the same as the half-ton truck. Beautiful interior. Again, Ram has kind of stepped up the entire industry in terms of what people expect from the interior of a truck. And here is the back cabin. Now this is a little interesting because it doesn't necessarily share the same rear seat as the half-ton. This is more in line with the previous version of the mega cab, mainly because all of your legroom wasn't really gained here. You have a significant amount of space behind the back seat. So when you fold the back seat down, they give you this real large storage area. Which is about 8 inches of space or more behind the back seat. So again, when you look at how they've configured the cab of the 3/4 ton, it's definitely not the same in the back as the half ton. Now the technology, all of this is, but the space that you get isn't quite the same. The frame looks very similar. It is a fully E-coated, fully boxed frame. If you look at the frame rails on the 3/4 ton, they bow out here because it uses their multi-link rear suspension, coil sprung. LED taillights. And this is a limited trim truck. Let's take a look at the front. So your biggest styling changes are going to be the front of this truck. Beautiful LED lights. It kind of has this, I guess, cassette style front grille area where it kind of seems as if it's just fixated to the front as opposed to integrated, which is a little bit different. Overall, when they say the grille is larger, it is definitely larger, and it seems like it's also a little taller as well, but it dips down closer into the bumper. And here is a Laramie dually. Very nice interior. This one also has the 12-inch Uconnect display. So their extended cab truck is largely unchanged from the current model. What I had thought they would do is put the half-ton body in terms of the back cab portion on the 3/4 ton and up trucks as well if you didn't get it in a mega cab configuration. But it appears they didn't go that route. You still have a tremendous amount of legroom, but the back seats actually look to be the same seats from the previous model with the flip-out portion here. And of course, underneath, you probably have your storage bins. And of course, everything now has push-button tailgate release with slow opening. This one also has a step right here, so you can climb into the bed easier. Has the 30,000 pound rated fifth wheel hitch. One of the things I really like that they've added is the parking sensors that protect your rear fenders if you have a dually, because those can get damaged very easily. Whether you're paying attention or not, there are some instances where whether you're backing up or you're getting into a tight spot, you need to know how close you are to them. And that makes a lot of sense. That's actually something I wish all the manufacturers have been doing for a while, but unfortunately they haven't. I'm glad Ram finally introduced that on their truck. And here is the front end of the Laramie. Something else I like about this is it uses LED headlights, even though they're a little different than what I saw on the Limited. It does have the same LED little accent trim on the top and bottom, but the Limited had kind of this quad setup over here, whereas this one utilizes 3 LED lights going across. Extensive use of parking sensors for sure. Taking a closer look at the front suspension, this one does not have the Bilstein shocks up front. You can see it has the coil sprung front suspension, radius arm below. Overall, guys, this is a gorgeous truck. It looks very nice. I do wish that they would incorporate the wide track front axle in the front. I'm waiting to hear the numbers from Ram on what the turning radius is on this truck and if it's improved from the previous generation. It looks to be the same, but when I get a hold of one of the engineers, I will ask them. So the conventional receiver on the back of this Ram is only 2.5 inches, but it's made out of advanced high-strength steel, so it doesn't need to be the 3 inches that Ford puts on their trucks. So when it comes to the redesign between the 2018 and the 2019 heavy-duty truck, there was a lot of speculation that the 2019 heavy-duty would share the same cab configuration from the backseat perspective as the half-ton truck, and it looks like the cab from the behind the driver's seat, at least, is kind of a carryover from the previous generation. Is that true?
Similar dimensionally, but I think that's where the comparisons really stop. When you look from an exterior perspective, the front end, the rear, the tail lamps, but on the interior, the level of refinement, we fundamentally lifted our award-winning Ram 1500 interior and transplanted that here in the all-new 2019 heavy-duty, complete with our 12-inch Uconnect touchscreen, which makes a fairly significant statement when you sit behind the wheel of the truck.
Absolutely, and it's commendable on the interior. The interior, by far, has set that next level, has set the bar for what other manufacturers are going to have to compete against. I do have a question in relation to the payload and towing numbers. Now, towing up to 35,000 pounds is a tremendous number. Anybody who owns a dually, anybody who tows a fifth wheel or a gooseneck knows that is... It's almost hard to find 35,000 pounds worth of payload to put behind a truck that you feel comfortable towing.
Yeah, 35,100. You got a little bit extra for a couple of cases of beer if you
exactly.
Want to throw in there as well. Yeah.
And I notice it now is compatible with a 3-inch gooseball. And I guess the final question, is that 35,100 pounds fifth wheel towing, or is that just gooseneck towing?
That's just gooseneck towing. We'll see about Mopar options in the future, but I think you've hit the nail on the head. We started by talking about the interior, exterior, but as you know, these trucks can't survive just on good looks. They got to work for a living. And when it comes to working for a living, 1,000 pound-feet of torque, really breaks that sound barrier in the torque arena. 35,100 pounds of towing. Whether you're going to use it all or not use it all, I think it's always good to have a little bit of peace of mind that you got some power to spare back there and some capacity to spare. And then the 7,680 pounds of payload is critically important to a lot of customers as well. So we feel we have the total package here, from a technology, a comfort, style, and then, of course, that critically important capability as well.
So how's it going today?
Good.
Always
big
good to see you out
Ram.
here. Absolutely. Beautiful trucks. Big fan of Ram. Big fan of the interiors, right? As being a Ford owner myself, just looking at the interiors, it kind of makes me jealous because you guys have really set the bar when it comes to just the level of refinement and technology and comfort and everything you expect. My question for you is fifth wheel towing capability, because that's going to be a big question by people. What is the maximum tow capability for a fifth wheel RV?
Fifth wheel RV, based on the hitch, is 30,000 pounds. So we maintain the best in class for fifth wheel. So great for your readers, towing their RVs. We still have the RV Match Brown, so lots of capability, lots of good looks, and like you said, lots of technology with the new Ram heavy duties. We get the 12-inch screen, wrapped in real wood, wrapped in real leather. And ready to go on your RV adventure.
Yeah, one other question. So conventional towing. I'm one of those proponents that if you're towing a 15,000 pound travel trailer, destination style trailer, it still makes sense to have a dually. It still makes sense to have that extra stability. When it comes to 3/4 ton, 1 ton dually conventional towing capability, do you know what those numbers are as well?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm with you too, because having the dualies is really nice. You don't get pushed around. A little bit of sway. You can really handle it with the brake controller that's right there, or the chassis electronics with our brake assist. Will actually put the brakes on the trailer and help straighten out the truck too. If you ever got yourself in that sort of situation, so that's good. Our 2500 does around 19,000 pounds.
Wow.
With tag or conventional towing. And our dualies will do 23,000 pounds. So that's a really big
Those are
tag.
good numbers.
One of the things, for your readers and your listeners, the confidence, the overall towing confidence that we've installed in this new heavy duty, everything from the best in class lights. We've got the best lights in the segment by far. And that wasn't hard because some of the competitors' lights are really bad. But we didn't want to have the guys, bolting on more lights to the Ram. So we've got the best down the road lighting. We've got LEDs in the front, LEDs on the fogs. They're adaptive, but most importantly, you won't overrun your headlights hauling a heavy trailer.
And the adaptive headlights has been something I have screamed about in the heavy duty market for a long time.
Yes.
Having the ability to have your adaptive headlights auto adjust for you to be able to keep the light on the road is very important when you're towing heavy.
It is, and the team did a really nice job even with the top cut line. So when you're loaded or when you're when you've even got your truck in alt trailer height, because we always keep our trailer load level with our air suspension. You don't have to worry about getting blinked by the traffic coming the other way. Even though they've got the brightest lights, they've done a really nice job controlling the top end of those lights. But it's the overall confidence that you get with this new Ram. I can tell you, I've put a lot of miles towing my RV and my horse trailer with our heavy duties, and the guys did a great job. The air suspension, the Chimzo camera, the backup cameras that we've got are amazing. The old situation, you're backing into the campground, you get the truck a little bit sideways, and you can't see, so you got to go out, pull it forward, you scream for someone to, all you do is you look down at your 12-inch screen, and you push the little arrow at the bottom of the camera, and it will pan the camera to the left or to the right, and you can see where your truck is going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm embarrassed to say I ripped off a fender off one of my trailers. You won't do this anymore.
And now you have parking sensors
exactly
too on
where you go.
On the
that's the other thing. You don't want to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
You show up at the campsite, you unhook, and next thing you know, you're the guy driving around with a dented dually fender. You don't want to be that guy. So we made sure we have it covered with the new Ram.
Jim, it's always great to see you. I appreciate your time.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Everybody loves a black truck, especially a blacked out truck. I think it's universally a very appealing type of truck for a lot of people. The only downside is it's also universally the hardest truck to keep clean, but when it is clean, it sure looks good. So guys, I really appreciate you coming to my channel to check out the 2019 North America International Auto Show, or the Detroit Auto Show. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.